She banged on my door so hard the wood shook. I opened it and she was already yelling, "Phone up, camera in my face. This house is under HOA violation. You need to leave now." I didn't even get a chance to speak before she shouted to someone behind her. "Call the police. He's refusing." Two men in cheap uniforms walked up fast, one of them grabbing my arm like I was a criminal. My son stood behind me, scared, holding my leg. I felt anger rise, but I stayed calm, because panic was exactly what she wanted. She smiled like she had already won. "You people think rules don't apply to you," she said, pointing at my car, my porch, my flag. "I run this neighborhood." One of the fake cops said, "Sir, you're being detained for trespassing." That word hit hard. Trespassing, on my own land. My neighbor peeked through the blinds, then shut them. No one helped. Karen stepped closer and whispered, "I'll take your house piece by piece." Then she nodded at the men. "Take him." As they pulled my hands back, my phone slipped but kept recording. My son cried, "Daddy!" That sound almost broke me. Almost. I looked straight at Karen and said slowly, "You should stop this. Right now." She laughed, loud. "Or what?" she said. "Who are you gonna call?" I looked at the fake badge on the man's chest and then back at her. "Trust me," I said quietly. "This ends very bad for you." They pushed me toward the driveway, rough on purpose, like they wanted a show. Karen followed, still filming, talking to her phone. "This is what happens when people don't follow HOA rules," she said. Proud, loud. One of the fake cops tried to cuff me, hands shaking. I noticed it right away. "Real cops don't shake like that." I glanced at his belt. No body cam, no proper radio, just plastic and attitude. My son ran after us crying, and Karen snapped, "Keep that kid back or I'll report you for child endangerment too." That was the moment something changed in me. I stopped walking. The man pulling me whispered, "Don't make this harder." I looked at him and said, calm and clear, "You're not law enforcement. Step away from my family." Karen rushed forward, face red. "Don't listen to him. Arrest him now." Then she did something stupid. She waved a paper in my face. A fake HOA eviction notice. My address spelled wrong. She yelled, "This house is HOA property now." I took a slow breath and said, "This house is federal protected property." She froze for half a second, then laughed. "Nice story," she said. "You think words scare me?" Right then, my phone buzzed in my pocket. One vibration, then another. I smiled for the first time. Karen noticed and frowned. "What are you smiling at?" she asked. I leaned closer and said, "The call you should have made. Just went through." The fake cop tried to snatch my phone from my pocket, but it was too late. A black SUV rolled into the street and stopped hard. Not HOA, not local. No lights, just authority. A man stepped out, calm, sharp eyes, jacket zipped high. Karen scoffed. "You can't park there," she snapped, marching toward him like she owned the road. He didn't even look at her at first. He looked at me, then at my son, then back at the two men holding me. "Hands off," he said, simple, cold. They hesitated. Karen laughed nervously. "Excuse me? This is a private HOA matter." The man finally turned to her. "Ma'am, step back." She puffed up. "Or what?" "I'll call the sheriff." He pulled out a badge, real heavy worn. "I already did," he said. "And they're on their way." Karen's smile cracked. "Who are you supposed to be?" she asked. He looked at her like she was nothing. "I'm with federal investigations." "And you just made a very big mistake." The fake cops let go of me and tried to back away. One of them whispered, "We were just hired." Karen snapped, "Don't you dare leave." I straightened my shirt and said quietly, "You told them I was trespassing." She nodded fast. "Yes, because you are." I looked at her and said, "I don't trespass. I investigate." Her face went pale. Sirens started in the distance. Karen's phone slipped from her hand and hit the ground. She whispered, "This isn't how this was supposed to go." I leaned down, picked up her phone, still recording, and said the line she'd never forget. "You should have checked who you were judging." The real police arrived fast. Not rushing, confident. They separated everyone. The fake cops were shaking now, talking over each other, blaming Karen. One officer asked me for my ID. I handed it over. He looked at it, then at me, then stepped back. "Yes, sir," he said quietly. Karen heard that. Her knees almost gave out. They watched the video from my phone. Every word, every threat, every lie. The eviction paper, the fake badges. One officer turned to Karen and said, "You're under arrest for false reporting. Impersonation and attempted kidnapping," she screamed. "This is my neighborhood." They cuffed her anyway. Neighbors came out, phones up, shocked. The same people who hid earlier. As they took her away, she locked eyes with me. "You ruined my life," she said. I shook my head. "No," I replied. "You did that when you thought." Power meant bullying. My son ran to me and hugged my leg. I picked him up and held him tight. The federal agent leaned in and said, "You handled that well." I looked at my house, my flag, my child, and said, "I didn't fight for this country to let fear win at my front door." That night, the street was quiet. The HOA signs came down the next day, and everyone learned one thing they'll never forget. You never know who you're trying to control until it's too late. End the story.